With gavel at hand, the final plenary meeting of the 65th session of the General Assembly, led by President Joseph Deiss, began with a special tribute to the UN's former GA president and Prime Minister of Finland, Harry Holkeri, who passed away on August 7th. President Deiss spoke of Holkeri as a skilled mediator and consensus builder. A seasoned politician, experienced mediator, a tireless worker, consistently serving the ideals of the United Nations. Mr. Holkeri was an exceptional president for an exceptional session of the General Assembly, the session of the millennium.
A memorial session of this august assembly is a rare honor and speaks volumes about Mr. Holkeri's accomplishments. I will make sure to convey your warm words to his loved ones. Many of you have already paid tribute to Mr. Holkeri's achievements as the President of the 55th session of the General Assembly. The Millennium Declaration was adopted during Mr. Holkeri's term, and his legacy is therefore still very much alive here at the General Assembly.
The GA meeting also included considerations of several draft resolutions, of which President Deiss promoted throughout his tenure, including the equitable representation of membership at the Security Council, the revitalization of the General Assembly, and the reform of the Economic and Social Council. President Deiss highlighted the year's initiatives and was acknowledged for his diligent and steadfast commitment from advancing human rights, the green economy, to promoting rule of law, and build efforts toward global governance by initiating G20 members.
In your first comment to the membership upon being chosen as president, you reminded us all that, I quote, "Our purpose here is not merely to defend our particular national interest," end quote. You said you are here, I quote again, "to be friends who work together to find constructive solutions." I think we can all agree that you did just that, highlighting again the relevance of the General Assembly as this organization's chief deliberative and representative body.
Mr. Secretary General, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, at times during the 65th session, I've asked myself, at what point does outrage to human dignity and the suffering of peoples finally become so great that we are forced to condemn it, to act? For I am convinced that for all human beings whose dignity has been harmed or whose integrity is threatened, whether in Syria or elsewhere in the world, the Assembly of Peoples that we constitute must at least be a moral refuge, reassuring them that their cause is not forgotten, that we uphold their aspirations, and that they have the right to hope.
Just before passing the gavel on to his successor, Nasser Abdulaziz Al Nasser, the permanent representative of Qatar, President Deiss left member states with his final message of the critical importance of determining common interest over national interest in order to fulfill the real concerns of people, noting the world's poorest and most vulnerable. President Deiss said common interests must prevail in order to allow people to live in dignity and with hope. Among many sentiments of appreciation, Secretary General Ban Ki-moon thanked President Joseph Deiss for highlighting the relevance of the General Assembly with perfect punctuality. Afaf Kanja for South South News, here at the United Nations General Assembly.